Are you sure your favorite fast food chain won't vanish this year? 2025 is shaking up the fast food industry like never before. Giants are crumbling, sales are tanking, ingredient costs are skyrocketing, and customers are turning away. Iconic names tied to millions of American childhoods now face mass closures. In this video, we'll reveal 8 titans that could disappear overnight and the reasons why it's entirely possible. 8. Starbucks, pricey coffee, striking workers. Starbucks was once the gold standard of fast coffee, a warm latte symbolizing comfort, relaxation, and a touch of class. But in 2025, that image is fading fast. With nearly 35,000 stores worldwide, Starbucks seems unshakable. Yet its massive scale is now a burden in today's volatile economy. Let's face facts. Ingredient costs, milk, coffee beans, syrups, are soaring. Customers now pay $7 or $8 for drinks that cost $4 just a few years ago. Starbucks can't revert to old prices without slashing profits. And as prices climb, loyalty wavers. That's only half the trouble. A staffing crisis, sparked by union movements in 2022, has grown into a full-blown storm. By 2024 and into 2025, strikes have raged on. Hundreds of stores shut temporarily. Social media overflows with videos of workers picketing and frustrated customers facing dark storefronts. Starbucks tried pivoting, pushing food sales and opening upscale reserve stores in city centers. But sky-high rents, labor costs, and marketing for these new models are crushing. The harsh truth? Foot traffic hasn't recovered enough post-pandemic. Once bustling urban stores now sit empty, while local coffee shops draw crowds with artisanal roasts, fair prices, and cozier vibes. 2024 marked the first time Starbucks closed more U.S. stores than it opened, and 2025 is forecast to be worse. The chain may not vanish entirely, but if you think Starbucks is too big to fail, it's time to reconsider. Those green mermaid logos on street corners could fade away, leaving not just a coffee void, but an entire era behind. 7. Arbys, we have the meats, but does anyone care? Arbys once proudly declared, "We have the meats," a slogan that stood for bold, hearty, unique flavors. But in 2025, it sounds like an unanswered question. They have the meats, but who's still buying? With beef prices up nearly 20% since 2023, Arbys faces a tough choice. A brand built on quality ingredients must either hike prices until customers balk or shrink portions without notice. Neither option is great, and both are happening quietly. Savvy diners are noticing, why is my sandwich smaller? Why am I paying more for less? The trouble isn't just internal. The market's shifting fast. Trendy chains like Mendocino Farms and craft sandwich shops are stealing the spotlight with modern vibes, organic ingredients, friendly service, and competitive prices. Meanwhile, Arbys clings to an outdated model, with a heavy menu that doesn't appeal to younger, health-conscious eaters. Worse, Arbys has largely ignored the plant-based or low-meat trend, something rivals like Subway and even McDonald's are embracing. As consumers prioritize health and the environment, Arbys' lack of green options leaves it out of step. Internally, service issues are mounting. In 2024, social media lit up with complaints about dirty stores, poor service, and declining quality. Some locations were flagged as least profitable by parent company Inspire Brands, with quiet closures starting late last year. If you're a fan of Arbys' signature roast beef sandwiches, it might be time for one last visit before your local spot vanishes without a trace. In 2025, the brand that once had all the meats risks losing what matters most: its customers. 6. Jack in the Box, quirky strategy, plummeting sales. Jack in the Box was once the quirky rebel of fast food, known for oddball ads, a weird menu of late-night tacos, stoner food sandwiches, and that iconic clown head. But in 2025, that uniqueness isn't an edge anymore. In a cutthroat market, being different isn't enough, and sometimes it pushes customers away. Sales have been sliding. Nation's Restaurant News reported a 7% net revenue drop in Q4 2024, signaling rough waters for 2025. Why? Partly location. Most stores are in western states like California, where minimum wages, rent, and taxes keep rising. Many franchisees are bleeding losses, forcing closures. The bigger issue is brand identity. After years of dabbling in tacos, burgers, sandwiches, and odd late-night bites, customers are confused. What is Jack in the Box? Cheap tacos? Premium burgers? Youthful night snacks? The brand lacks focus, and that vagueness kills loyalty. Digital efforts flopped too. Their app is clunky, glitchy, and hard to use. Social media buzzes with photos of raw sandwiches, cold orders, or botched deliveries, sparking unprecedented backlash. Meanwhile, fresher rivals like the Habit Burger or Shake Shack win with consistent quality, modern vibes, and polished customer experiences. Jack in the Box's goofy, laugh-out-loud style feels dated to younger diners who value experience, transparency, and clean food. Without a swift brand overhaul, better service, and a refreshed menu, that clown head, once a symbol, might only linger above shuttered stores. 5. Wendy's. Fresh isn't enough to keep customers. Wendy's was the bold challenger in the burger game, shining with its fresh, never-frozen beef promise. Simple but powerful, it defined the brand. Yet in 2025, fresh alone can't hold customers, especially when everything else is veering off track. Wendy's finances are shaky. Leaked 2024 documents, analyzed in early 2025, show many locations scraping by with 2 to 3% net profits, far below the 10 to 12% of a decade ago. Soaring fresh beef costs are a clear culprit. But executive missteps are the real trouble. The chain poured millions into high-tech soda machines, brand redesigns, and menu expansions, with little payoff. Their big breakfast push, meant to be a game-changer, became a burden. Complex morning menus stretched labor hours and costs, but sales didn't cover it. Social media, where Wendy's once ruled with sharp, snarky tweets, isn't cutting it anymore. While their follower count stays high, wit doesn't drive sales. Rivals like Shake Shack, Five Guys, and local craft burger joints lure young diners with sleek menus, premium ingredients, and approachable boutique vibes. Worse, Wendy's faces suburban closures, a former drive-through stronghold. Post-pandemic shifts in commuting slashed drive-through traffic. A Bloomberg report from early 2025 says Wendy's is prepping to shutter hundreds of underperforming U.S. locations. From a bold, witty brand, Wendy's is now stuck between past glory and a harsh market reality. Without a daring, practical strategy, the Wendy's name might fade into memory, a reminder of a fast food era driven by freshness and personality. 4. KFC. Old recipe, new problems. Once a global icon for fried chicken, KFC was synonymous with Colonel Sanders and that famous red bucket. But in 2025, that familiarity is a weight. As customers demand transparency, flexibility, and fresh flavors, the 11 secret spices recipe keeps KFC stagnant while new troubles pile up. First, supply issues. Widespread avian flu and tariff hurdles have made poultry imports and farm operations tougher than ever. Chicken prices are spiking, feed costs, especially grains, are soaring, and stricter environmental rules add pressure. The classic bucket now tops $35 in many big cities. For families who once grabbed KFC for a quick dinner, it's no longer a budget-friendly pick. Second, quality. Customers complain meals are bland, lack that signature crunch, or arrive cold. Fast service comes at a cost. Rushed prep strips the food of its soul. Meanwhile, Popeyes and Chick-fil-A score big with bold recipes, crisp service, and slick marketing. Sadly, KFC's falling behind. KFC hoped to modernize with meatless, Beyond Fried chicken. But it flopped, even alienating some loyal fans. Instead of fixing core issues, taste and value, KFC's chasing unfamiliar experiments. Globally, China was a lifeline, but 2025 sees slowing growth as locals flock to cheaper, tastier domestic chains. In the US, stores are quietly closing or limping along, unable to afford upgrades, while parent Yum! Brands shifts focus to Pizza Hut. If KFC doesn't revamp, from recipe to operations, not just buckets will be left behind. An American food icon could fade in quiet regret. 3. McDonald's, the giant in trouble. McDonald's, once seen as untouchable in fast food, is showing even giants can stumble. With over 38,000 stores worldwide, collapse seems impossible. But in 2025, a new chapter is unfolding where that massive scale is a burden, not a strength. Post-pandemic, McDonald's raced to automate, hoping to slash labor costs, from cashierless kiosks to fry stations needing no staff. But the reality is harsh. Maintenance, software, and installation costs are eating profits faster than expected. These machines aren't cheap as hyped, and when they break, it's not just money lost but customer experience too. Worse is the public's reaction. Social media paints McDonald's as cold, soulless burger factories. A new generation valuing human connection, labor ethics, and social responsibility is turning away. They're picking smaller chains, craft burgers, or plant-based eats, places where they feel heard, not just served. Internally, the franchise system is cracking. McDonald's is notoriously strict with partners, but with rising rents, soaring property taxes, and lagging sales, many franchisees feel trapped. Some are eyeing sell-offs or brand switches, threatening system-wide unity. Even bold menu expansions haven't saved the day. Today's customers want more than tasty burgers. They demand transparency, nutrition, and a story behind the food. For a behemoth like McDonald's, adapting nimbly in this chaotic market is tough. McDonald's won't vanish overnight, but without real change, in tech, staffing, and core values, that familiar McDonald's on your block could go dark with a "for lease" sign. Giants aren't immortal, and 2025 is the loudest reminder yet. 2. Taco Bell. From innovation to stagnation, Taco Bell was a beacon of boundless creativity in fast food, where Doritos taco mashups became nationwide crazes. But in 2025, this Americanized Mexican chain is stuck. Quirky menus aren't cutting it, ingredient costs are spiking, and their cheap price strategy has become an Achilles heel, trapping them in a profit slump. Proof? Taco Bell's same-store sales growth in the latest quarter was a mere 1%, alarming for a brand that once posted double-digit surges. Analysts point to skyrocketing avocado prices, hitting guacamole and quesadillas hard. But it's not just ingredients. Shortages of ground beef and tortillas at many locations mean inconsistent experiences, eroding the reliability customers trusted. Low pricing, once a strength, is now a weight. Dollar menu items and $5 cravings boxes were sales hits but are no longer profit drivers as labor and operating costs climb. Some franchisees admit they can't break even to keep doors open. Meanwhile, diners are flocking to Chipotle or Qdoba, willingly paying a few extra bucks for fresher, transparent, customizable meals. Taco Bell tried pivoting with green moves, eco-friendly packaging, breakfast trials, and process tweaks. But these feel like patches, lacking a bold long-term vision to reposition the brand. To customers, Taco Bell isn't cheap enough to be the budget pick nor premium enough to keep loyalty. Without a fierce overhaul, from supply chains to brand messaging, Taco Bell risks becoming a textbook case of a once vibrant innovator stalled in a new era's grind. That familiar Taco Bell chime could soon echo only as nostalgia. 1. Burger King, the king dethroned. Burger King, once the proud king of fast food, is struggling to reclaim its throne in a world where the crown has long shifted. No longer McDonald's solid runner-up, Burger King is slipping behind in a full-blown crisis. Brand, operations, and customer loyalty are all faltering. QSR Magazine's February 2025 report shows a 9% same-store sales drop last year. That's grim, but worse against industry trends. Beef, cheese, and cooking oil prices jumped 18%. Labor costs rose nearly 12%. For a chain built on cheaper than McDonald's, every burger now carries a near-negative profit margin. Internally, chaos brews. Franchisees are vocal. Some shuttered stores en masse, unable to afford mandatory upgrades like modern soda machines, digital menus, or dual drive-through lanes. In 2024, nearly 400 Burger King locations closed globally. That number's climbing in 2025. Brand-wise, Burger King's lost its spark. Lackluster marketing and off-target new items, like the infamous green burger disaster, have dulled customer excitement. While McDonald's races into automation, Wendy's shines on social media, and fast casual chains like Shake Shack or Five Guys offer upscale yet approachable vibes, Burger King's stuck between past glory and present muddle. Without a sweeping overhaul, not just menus but core values, customer experience, and brand image, 2025 could be the final chapter for a king that once ruled American fast food. The question isn't can Burger King rebound, but how many stores will survive this storm? Industry-wide trend analysis. 2025 is marking a brutal turning point for the U.S. fast food industry. It's not just a few brands struggling, it's a widespread, deep, and unprecedented wave of decline. Ingredient costs like beef, cooking oil, and dairy are spiking double digits year over year. Labor shortages, rising minimum wages, plus insurance and automation maintenance costs are crushing profit margins fast. Built on speed and low prices, fast food chains are trapped. Raise prices and lose customers, or keep prices low and bleed losses. Post-pandemic, Americans eat differently. They cook at home more, crave fresh and clean food, and care about health and sourcing. Local chains, food trucks, and fast casual spots like Chipotle or Shake Shack are thriving by hitting modern tastes. Quick but not dirt cheap, convenient but not shallow. Automation, ordering apps, and cashierless kiosks were hailed as post-COVID saviors. But installation and upkeep costs are devouring profits. Worse, customers, especially middle-aged and older ones, are pushing back against cold machines replacing human experiences. In a market where everyone sells burgers, fries, and chicken, identity is now a make-or-break factor. Chains losing their unique spark, like Burger King or Jack in the Box, are fading fast. Meanwhile, brands with clear stories, like Chick-fil-A's service or Shake Shack's quality, hold their ground. The U.S. fast food market has been saturated for years. As sales dip, some chains open more locations to prop up profits, but this only fuels fiercer internal competition. Skyrocketing rents, especially in big cities, are forcing countless stores to close. Fast food is no longer a money-printing machine. Brands slow to adapt, or clinging to past glory, face swift elimination. 2025 is a pivotal year. Innovate or survive, stagnate, and get left behind. So, next time you grab that familiar burger or morning coffee, pause. It might be the last time you order it from that brand. The market doesn't spare stragglers. In 2025, American fast food is rewriting the rules.